When you're heading to a Disney park for the day, what should you take with you? This week on the podcast, Carrie and I are sharing what's in our Disney parks bags. Stay tuned to find out. Hi, I'm Francine and you're listening to the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast, a podcast where our first topic of conversation will always be Disney. I've been a Disney fan for as long as I can remember, and I'm determined to bring more of that Disney magic into my everyday life. So if you need a little extra pixie dust in your day, you've come to the right place. Thanks so much for listening, and let's get started. Welcome to another episode of the Pixie Dust Fan Podcast. Hi, Carrie.
Hiya.
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How was your week?
It was good. It was kind of busy, and it was a short week for me because I took Monday off.
You keep making these little nice short weeks for yourself.
But even though it was a short week, I couldn't wait for it to be over.
Sometimes when you take a vacation day, it feels like the week is longer.
Yeah.
Even though it's one day shorter.
So it was a busy week, and I was wishing it away because it was busy and a little wonky, but yeah, it was quick. It was a quick week, so.
I know. It's crazy how quickly the week, it kind of flies by when we're thinking about recording, and then before you know, like, it feels like yesterday we recorded last week's.
It does, yeah. And you had a busy week too. You had a busy week at work. So.
I did. The unmagical job, it gets so, some days are crazier than others, but yeah, it kind of flew by. At least when it's busy, it makes the time go by fast.
Yeah, for sure.
The problem is working at home, though, you don't know when to shut off. Like, that's a huge issue for me, is that at the end of the day, I don't notice the time because I'm just sitting at the desk, and then before you know it, it's 6 or 6:30, and like my boss is calling me or something because she doesn't even notice the time. We just see that we're online, and yeah, so it kind of gets away from you when you're working from home. However, I will say that I did have to go somewhere last week that required me to put on dress clothes that I have not had on since we obviously started working from home. And let me just say that I was talking to a friend when I was on the way there, and I was like, I'm just praying these pants don't split open before I get there. It was definitely clear to me how much I've gained since we started working from home. And even your shoes, like, your feet must change too, because I'm in running shoes and or slippers at home, and putting on my dress shoes, it was awkward and uncomfortable, and I feel like my feet have changed.
I think that's probably true. I just sit around with bare feet and socks all day, and I don't put my feet in shoes very often. So
it's weird.
We'll probably yeah, I don't know. Yeah, really walk a little bit more. I have been walking a bit, but not enough. Yes,
you're doing walks now at lunchtime and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But I find like when I go to work, when I have to go into work, I just wear like jeans and whatever. Also, I'll wear my Disney shirts or whatever into work because no one's going to be there. Like exactly. I might see one person, but yeah, I just wear I wear comfy clothes to work when I need to go in. So yeah. My work clothes have been hung up since last year March. Like they haven't moved. They were washed and they were hung up and
that's it.
So weird.
Same with mine. So it's going to be, I know at my Unmagical job, they're talking about planning for us to go back into the office in some capacity in the fall. And even just the thought of that, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to do something, or else I'm going to have to buy a whole new wardrobe to go back to work.
Well, I joked, I don't know if I said it on in the earlier podcast, but I always said when this first started, because I'm like, I'll wear something forever. As long as it fits me, I'll wear it forever. Like, I buy a load of new sweaters every couple years to wear to work, and maybe when I get sick of them, I get rid of them. But generally, like, I wear things forever. Like, I'd rather spend my money on, like, Disney clothes to wear in my spare time, or hoodies or whatever. So my work clothes is just my work clothes. And so I said at the beginning of this, like, I really should just throw them all out. And then when it comes time to go back to work, I'll have to go on a shopping spree. Like, just for the sake of, like, like everything in my closet, I've probably like I don't even want to admit how long I've probably worn some of those pairs of, as long as they fit, I keep wearing them. I buy them in grays and in blacks. So they kind of look the same, throw a sweater on it. So I haven't thrown them out, but I totally forgot about it till the other day. I was looking at my closet and I was like, oh yeah, I did say I was going to do that. And then when it is time to go back to work, then I'll be like, well, I guess ideally we'd be able to shop properly. I would have been like, well, it's time for me to go buy some new clothes. So maybe I need to call myself on that one and actually do it. Because my poor pants and my work clothes would probably be like, hallelujah, retire me. I'm sick and tired of this.
Well, it depends what part of the world you're in, whether you're out shopping and things are open or if you're in full on lockdown like we are again for the umpteenth time, where we can't go shopping, which is probably a good thing. I don't want to be trying on clothes right now anyway. But depending on where you are in the world, there are places where everything looks like it's almost kind of normal, just with face masks on. And then other places where we're all kind of under lockdown.
Stay-at-home orders.
Now we're at stay-at-home order.
Well, and I think I don't really buy clothes online, so I like... Mm-hmm. Like, if I throw it all out and I got to go back to work and I've got to rely on buying my clothes online, I'd be in trouble. I'd be going... I'd probably be wearing jeans and Mickey Mouse hoodies to work for the first little while.
Oh, for sure. I ordered a bunch of pants online a few weeks ago, and then I had to return them all because they weren't pants. They were track pants, let's be clear. But, yeah. So that's been our week.
I think when we go back to work, there'll be petitions and things. People will be signing them to allow people to wear comfy pants to work.
Oh, I can't wait to see how people's personal styles will change. Because, you kind of get in this groove and you have a style of what you wear. I know people at my work who wear high heels every day. I don't, but they do. And I wonder when we get back, will they do that again? Or now that their feet have been so comfortable and free being at home, maybe they won't do that again. Maybe people will be a little more casual than they used to be.
Well, and I think I think this might be different in a major city like a metropolis, and depending on like the type of work environment it is, if it's a more creative work environment or whatever. Like, people think you have to wear, like, men have to go to work wearing a certain thing, like you said. Maybe in where I work, it's not, no one's wearing high heels and things like that, but wearing something that's like business casual and up, like you have to have on a certain type of pants, you have to have on a certain type of shirt or a sweater, and maybe guys don't need to have a tie on, but they need to have a golf shirt or whatever. And some people can dress in a jean jacket and some Converse high tops and look really like presentable and expressing themselves and look fantastic, right? Like,
right.
And at my work, we don't really encourage people to dress like that, and I think that's what makes people feel comfortable in expressing themselves that way, right? Like, as long as you look neat and presentable, like, does it really matter if you've got, funky shoes on or whatever, like comfy, flat, trendy runners?
I could never pull that off. I would love to. I would love to be one of those people that can pull off one of those outfits.
I don't. I wear the same thing to work all the time. But...
Okay. So let's get back to our Disney news.
Yeah, for sure.
We could seriously talk for hours, right? About anything.
I could talk about this subject for quite a while. I got lots to say.
I know. Okay, so this week in Disney news, there was some fun stuff that came out. There is a new store opening, so finally the Mouse Gear replacement is coming back, but it's not going to be called Mouse Gear in Epcot. So this is the big store in Epcot, and it's called, what is it, Creations?
Creation Shop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's kind of weird sounding because maybe we don't understand what it really will be, but it doesn't seem very. I don't get it, or maybe there's more to it and I haven't read about it. But is it
like the name itself, Creations?
Yeah, like to me, I think Creature Shop or whatever. Like it's a place where you make a Muppet or a puppet or something artsy or whatever. I keep thinking Creature Shop or Creation. Like I think Creation. Well,
there's a Creature Shop at Animal Kingdom, isn't there? One of the shops is called
Comforts.
Creature Comfort.
Isn't that the Starbucks?
I think so, yes. So that's kind of what I think of when you first said creations, and I was like, huh?
It's just weird.
It is weird. It is weird. But it will be nice. Yeah, to have a big shop
artist
again.
renderings. Big shop looks spacious by the artist renderings.
Yes, it should be nice to see that back. But I think that the big, there was also the pictures of the Contemporary Resort. So there's big, almost like scrim or whatever they call it, the big curtains blocking off large sections of the rooms at the Contemporary. So I think this is where they're doing the soft refurbishment, where they're going in and updating maybe the artwork, the colors, the bedding, that kind of stuff. There is the rumors that it's The Incredibles. I don't know if it is or not. As long as they do it as tastefully as they did Moana at the Poly, I'm okay with it. But it always it gives me anxiety when they start playing with stuff at the Contemporary. So, yeah, I can't wait to see that.
It's very weird, like, the pictures of the refurbs, like how they have it all covered, like...
It's like top secret.
Yeah, I guess because it's wide open to everybody, they have to do that. But that is just so weird, and I'm sure they keep other resort refurbs as under wraps as they possibly can. But I guess because it's wide open and you can go through it and see it on.
And they don't want people taking pictures, I guess, as things are going in and out. Weird. So if they're bringing stuff in and out, then they don't want people taking pictures. It's almost like you need FBI clearance to get a look at what's going on.
It does look like, it looks like there was an alien landing or something, and they've got it all like they don't want anybody to see. It's like E.T.
It's all blocked off.
It's all blocked off, and except that it's hazmat-y. Like it looked like it wasn't white.
You're right, but it did kind of look like hazmat-y, almost, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to take it an extraterrestrial or something.
That's too funny.
But the one thing about Epcot was that you didn't mention was they also said that they're going to bring back Club Cool, which...
Yes. How do you feel about that? I was never a big Club Cool person.
I don't know. I liked going in. I like to get some sips of all the fruity beverages. I always liked the fruity ones. The lime one, like if there was anything that was kind of lime or lemonade or anything that was fruity. I liked those ones. They all tasted... I think they all taste fairly good except for, the one that shall not be named.
Yes. So this is just for people, if people aren't really familiar, Club Cool is the Coca-Cola sponsored shop at Epcot.
Yeah.
There used to be one at Epcot, then they have one at Disney Springs now, but they're bringing it back to Epcot, a Club Cool, and this is where you can taste Coca-Cola products from around the world. So Coke doesn't taste like Coke, like our Coke. Wherever you're going, there are different versions, different flavors in different countries.
Yeah, different soda pops.
Yeah, so you got to try them. And then of course there was the Beverly, which is from, where's that from? Is that Italy?
Italy, yeah.
Italy. Which is a version of Coca-Cola that it's like the big thing in the Disney community. Have you tried the Beverly? Because it's horrid. It's horrible.
So everybody you always bring somebody new and you try all the things and then you give them the Beverly and watch them like almost gag or whatever.
Exactly. That's what you do to your friends.
That's exciting that it's back because that's something that's loved. Everybody loves it.
Everybody loves that.
And it could have went away for good and come back just as a Coca-Cola store, but the
it'll be
the blog post said that it was like the samples were coming back. So
cool.
We'll see if Beverly does or not.
It's cool. Yes, but the big news, the big news.
The big news.
Well, we kept talking about everybody lost their marbles as per usual in the Disney community when they got rid of the Magical Express. How am I going to find my way? How am I going to find my way to Walt Disney World? Even though thousands of people, hundreds of millions of people did it long before the Magical Express, everybody was losing their marbles. How are we going to do it? And Mears just came out with an announcement that they're going to do it themselves.
Yeah.
So the company that ran the Magical Express, provided the Magical Express for Disney, is now coming out with their own shuttle.
Yeah, they were kind of like, yoo-hoo. We were the ones that did it all along. It was just on a bus that had Mickey Mouse all over it.
Exactly. So we know nothing, though. They really didn't announce any details. All they said was it will launch.
They said it was going to be the same type of service, the same quality, the same service, the same amenities, the same luggage transfers. It sounds like it's the exact same. Mm-hmm. They're promising the same
services.
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, I'm assuming there's going to be a fee. They're not going to do it for free.
Yeah, for sure. They said that the fee will be announced later and booking will be later.
But this is starting January, so right in time for the Magical Express ending. And it makes sense to me. So Disney's been running and operating this, contracting out to Mears, but they've been paying for it. So it makes sense to me. They've basically said, okay, Mears, if you want to keep running it, you run it. But you collect the fees, you collect the funding, you run it yourself. It's its own little enterprise. And we'll let you partner and come to our hotels and do the luggage service and do everything anyway. So I think that's great.
They just have to unbrand it and they could operate as long as the airport allows them the same spaces and they'd staff up the cast members with Mears staff. Like it can operate exactly the same.
It probably won't be much of a difference for anybody except the fees.
That's how it reads in their announcement.
So that's exciting. As we suspected, something was coming.
Yep.
Disney wasn't going to just say, too bad, so sad, figure it out yourself. Or else, all the car rental companies and the Ubers and stuff would have been throwing parties.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. Yeah. So that's exciting. I think we've covered our news. This week's topic, though, we thought would be fun to talk about what's in our park bags. I guess
to go dust them off and blow off the cobwebs.
What's in our park bags and what's always been in our park bags versus what, there's going to be some stuff that's new.
The evolution of our park bags.
Oh, there's an evolution. Because we do
Mine's the opposite of evolution.
Our park bags are different. We have very different park bag strategies.
Right.
So yeah, we're just different that way. So do you want to go first? Do you want to say something that's in your bag? You change your bag. You don't have a park bag that is staple all the time. This is the one I'm pulling out.
Right.
I do.
I often use a knapsack. So I have one of those gift with purchase bags from one of my early trips that I absolutely love because it fits water bottles on the side and has all the right pockets.
I'd love it when you bring that knapsack.
So that's and it's old. It's probably retro now or retro-er than it really should be because some people look at it and they go, "Oh my goodness, I remember that bag." Because they're long using there's been 18 other knapsacks you can buy now with purchase.
All these new gift with purchase bags.
Anyway, so I often will use that. And then if it's not that, then I usually try to go as minimal as possible. And I'll have a little small bag, a small purse that has absolutely
nothing
in it. Or usually my phone and some money. But in my knapsack, though, so I do like to carry a knapsack.
I like when you carry the knapsack because my water bottles go in the side.
Listen, and when you're traveling with me, I am glad to be the person that carries a knapsack all day. I have no problem with. I know
it's so fantastic when you do that.
But I don't carry a lot in my knapsack, so my knapsack will have umbrella or a couple ponchos. It'll have my forms of payment. And it will have some water in it, water bottles in it. And then it's usually empty because I want to carry it around for when we take off our sweatshirts or hoodies. I want to carry it around for all the stuff that we are going to buy because I don't want to ship it back to the resort or bring it somewhere or lock it in a locker or do anything like that. I want to have ample room to carry the stuff that's later in the day. Maybe some leftover snacks, some new drinks we bought. I want, because I don't like walking around and holding stuff. I don't want to walk around with buying a bag and carrying a bag or carrying my bottles of water or whatever. I don't like to carry stuff. I want my arms to be free to just move and shake.
You don't like to have stuff in your hands.
No. So, yeah.
Interesting.
That's my bag. So, and in my bag I would have sunglasses and my phone and I don't know, basic things. Like, I don't carry around,
Yeah.
you know,
you always
a pharmacy in my like, I often won't even have like an Advil or a Tylenol. I'll be like, dang, I've got a headache. And I say to myself, why the heck don't I pack those things in my bag? Or I'll have like a charger. I always have a charger in my bag, but I carry a knapsack, which would think, whoa, she must be well prepared. But I don't put
but there's nothing in it. Like, it's very minimal what you have in your knapsack.
I think of my park bag sort of like how I pack, right? Like, I usually am not missing anything. Okay, sometimes I wish I would have an Advil or a Tylenol or something, or maybe the odd time I'm like, I wish I had a Band-Aid. But generally, I don't like spend every day going, dang it, I forgot this or I forgot that. Like, I don't really use much, so I don't carry it around to not use things anymore. Same as with my packing. Like, I don't pack. I always have what I need. I don't pack all kinds of extra stuff. So my park bag is sort of the same thing.
You have nothing extra in your packing. Like,
but I don't go without.
It's what you need. It's because you plan it.
Mm-hmm. So,
and you plan your park bag the same way.
I think so. I have sometimes I have a comb, I have some pens, I usually have a highlighter and a pen and a notebook in there, but like all that stuff's light and it kind of fits in a pocket that it can stay in there all the time. I have pennies for my pressed pennies. I have pins. I usually have some pins tucked away somewhere, but like all those little tiny things would fit in like the front zipper. Like when you open up the body of the knapsack, there's like empty. A poncho at the bottom. And if we've been out for a while, you've already drank the 18 gallons of water I brought. So then it's empty, waiting for us to be like, oh, I don't want to wear my hoodie anymore.
People have no idea how much we argue over that water when we're in the parks together. So because I drink so much water and we always have water in the hotel, you are always like, just take 4 bottles with you. And I'm like, I don't want to carry 4 bottles. Don't worry, I'm going to put it in the knapsack. Yeah. And so you load up that knapsack with water for me so that I'm not buying it at the parks.
Well, that's exactly
I always feel bad.
Let me explain something. So this is the thing. So we go in tourist areas, the bottled water isn't that cheap always either. And sometimes you have to order it or you pay more for it because wherever you go buy it. So we buy cases and cases of water. Cases of water. Get the cases of water delivered to our rooms in advance of arriving.
Yes.
And then when we leave to go to the parks, you refuse to take them with you.
I take one with me because I'm drinking it on the way.
You've drank it before we even get off the property. So then you buy $4 bottles of water all day long.
I know.
And it drives me bananas. So I convince you, I wrap them up, I put them in the fridge or the freezer, I wrap them up and like, for someone who's been going to a park since she was knee-high to a toadstool, there are strategies around, packing some of these things. Like, so I put water in the fridge or in the freezer, I'll wrap it up and like,
you did. You remember you wrapped it all up in the towels
to kind of insulate it because it works.
You froze them. I know.
It works.
It does.
So then I carry them around. But the thing is, sure, I'm carrying around heavier water bottles. We drink them fairly quickly. But then
by lunchtime, they're done.
By the end of the day, we've bought stuff or we're carrying stuff around. So the bag so you remove the water after we drink it, and then we're going to fill it later with stuff that we bought or whatever. So it's just having, the
knapsack makes sense.
It works out in the end. So I don't mind carrying your water for half a day.
Thank you.
So, but honestly, like every time, $4. And then at Disneyland, all I hear is, the water costs more here. The water costs more here. The water costs more here.
Costs more at Disneyland. And you can't just order ahead for the cases to be in your room at Disneyland the way you do at Walt Disney World. We had to take the cab and go because they were heavy. Although when we went with Jamie, she was kind enough to carry it back.
Yeah, I carried them back too because we had to get a lot.
That was great. You guys had it before I got there because I came down after you guys. But anyway, so now we're off topic again. Back to the thing. So the water is in the bag. But sometimes you just carry a very small, tiny purse instead of the knapsack when you don't think you're going to be shopping, or maybe it's like when we're doing a half day, we come back in the afternoon, we're going back at night. Yeah. You'll just have your purse.
Yep. And it's really just to hold my phone.
Right.
Because you
don't want to put it in your hand.
You could just need to put a credit card somewhere.
Right.
I don't use my magic. I usually don't charge to my magic band because everything's always wonky. Every time I go to use it, the pin doesn't work or whatever, or I forgot the pin because I haven't used it since last time. So
yeah. I don't charge my magic band very often either. I usually have a prepaid credit card, so I'll load up a prepaid credit card before I go to Florida, so that then I feel like I'm not really spending money. I know it's stupid, but that's how I do it. So my bags are always the same. Like, my bags are just staples, and I have two. I have my drawstring that goes on my back, so it's a drawstring bag, and in that I will have my cooling towel, if it's that time of year that I need my cooling towel.
Don't own one of them.
I don't know how you can't. Okay, so in there I will have an extra big, like a massive phone charger, that like a big battery that will recharge my iPhone from like nothing to 100%, I think 3 times. I have my credit cards, my credit cards and my money go in my crossbody. So I always have so I have my sling bag, I have my crossbody that sits in front on my hip, so that it's like easy. I can reach into it, grab anything quickly. So that's where my phone goes. That's where my fuel rod is, because usually I have my phone charging like all day because I'm using it all day, right? So I'm taking pictures and videos and stuff like that. So the battery's draining. But then I always have my credit cards in there. But then in the back, in my string tie one, is the stuff that I don't need to get as quickly, which is my bigger camera. So I'll have my bigger camera usually in there. I have my comb, like hair comb. I have sunglasses, if they're not on my head. It's now that I'm older, I have readers because I can't necessarily read everything in the parks. So I have those. I have like hair ties. I have my little coolie for my water bottles. So I have like one of the cooler thingies so that I can put my water bottle in it that keeps it cold. And then I have like almost like a, what do you call it? Like a makeup case. So it's my Haunted Mansion makeup case, and it has my pharmacy of things in it. So I usually have like a couple of Band-Aids, Tylenols, tummy pills, like hair bands, things like that, all in that as well. And then phone wipes, like to clean off my phone if I've got like sticky stuff or I don't know, whatever, of my phone, and clean off my screen on my camera. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and now I guess go forward, hand sanitizer. I'm going to have that. Although an extra mask. An extra mask.
In case we sweat through our masks.
Yeah, we're going to have those, right? I'm trying to think, because I like the new Disney masks, the new material. They're a lot more breathable, but the paper masks, the regular ones, they're much thinner. Like, I feel like I'm probably going to air with those better.
I've never worn a paper mask because I don't go out too far, so I just wear my Disney ones and the ones I've bought from people that have made them. So no wonder you don't carry around like 8 bottles of water, because you already got enough crap to carry around.
Mm-hmm. I do. And with my camera, my batteries, and my fuel rod, obviously I just swap out when I'm in the parks, but the other battery is in case my camera's dying, or in case like there's not a fuel rod spot near me and whatever.
Well, Walt Disney World, you got to do like a loop of the park sometimes to find one.
Exactly. So that's why I always have that. And, if the people I'm with, their phones are dying and we don't have enough fuel rods or...
Yeah, that's me usually.
That's usually you.
That's
you usually need a charge, right? You always need a charge. And I always have that big battery plus my fuel rod so we can split.
It sounds like we're like the perfect pair, though. You've got if I need a Band-Aid, you're there. But heck, like if you want,
you've got my water.
I've got your water. That's all. But you want to. You're like, oh, you really want to trade a pin? I can help you there. You really want to press that penny, that Star Wars penny? I gotcha. I gotcha. It's not reciprocal here, other than me carrying your water. I usually always have everything that's in the knapsack is light. Like I usually carry a baseball cap of some sort too, but that's light. Like right. The bag is still empty. Yes. Once we've drank all the water, the bag is
Which is usually by lunchtime. All the water's gone.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing about like those things that you carry, the cooler things, like they do make a lot of sense, and they do keep your bottle of water cold. But you drink water so fast, like you're all
my water really never snapped time.
It's nice to have because the water bottle's cold sometimes, so it's hard to hold. I think that for me is more the reason.
I never have that issue. My issue is usually that my hands are warming my water because I'm holding the bottle. So at least if I have one of the little coolies, then my hands aren't warming the water as fast as, like, faster than I can drink it.
Right. Yeah.
So and that was kind of like by accident. It was, I had met my family. They had gone to, I can't remember where they went, whether it was one of the Disney resorts that isn't Walt Disney World. It's like, Hilton Head, or what's the other one? I can't remember. But anyway, they had been there, and then we met at Walt Disney World. So they brought me a little coolie from there. And while I was in the resort, I put the coolie on my water bottle, and then I was like, oh, why don't I take this to the park with me? And then, ta-da, the idea came. Well, because before that, I was using my cooling towel. Because you wrap your cooling towel around it, and then it makes your cooling towel cool with the water, see?
The new areas of the park, though, they're building in the filtration areas, right? So that's
so you can refill your water there.
Their water bottle,
yeah,
or get the cups of ice water.
Yes,
I'd rather drink ice. Well, I don't know. Sometimes tap water in different areas is gross sometimes, right? Because you're not used to drinking it, but. Honestly, I think I would like some tap waters more than the Dasani water or whatever.
Oh, my sister can't stand... And it's funny because I don't notice it with the Dasani water, but my sister can't stand the Dasani water. So she's always, But you know what? If it's cold and it's a hot day, I'll drink whatever. Because I just need to.
Yeah. Now, Franny, did you, dialing it back a couple... of years ago, did Franny ever wear a fanny pack to the parks?
Franny used to always. Franny always wore a string one on her back and a fanny pack. Always, always, always. I had my fanny because remember too, I was a smoker, and you could smoke everywhere in the park. So my cigarettes always went to my little fanny pack, so that they were easily accessible for whenever I wanted a cigarette. So yeah, I always had a fanny pack, and that's where my credit cards would go. And
for the longest time in my early travel years, I always wore one across the chest, tucked it underneath my arm, like I would wear one.
Oh, because you were cool like that. It.
Yeah, because it would be my purse. Because I've never been.
But why wouldn't you put it around your waist like a fanny pack was meant to do?
Well,
that's
I think
so
this is
convenient.
That the air yeah, I don't know that I was into fanny packs when we were actually supposed to wear them around her.
I always wore one. I loved them. They were I wish they'd come back in style.
Well, I think they have come back in style here and there, and I think it really just depends on...
if you're cool enough to pull it off.
If you're cool enough to wear one. There's nothing wrong with them.
Because I think they're so handy. That's the whole point of my crossbody that I wear, is because I need something quick in front that I can get my phone in and out or whatever I need. But a fanny pack is perfect for that. Yeah. If only I was cool enough to pull it off.
I think you should give it a try.
I don't know. And you just want to laugh at me. You want to point and laugh.
No. I still got that old fanny pack, and I may have some acquired other ones since then.
We are the total opposite when it comes to our park bags, how we pack for vacation, but it's just kind of the balance then. Mm-hmm. We balance each other out.
Yep, I think so.
Because that knapsack that you carry to the parks is also your carry-on, your second item on the plane.
Usually, yes.
Yes, we do have a whole what do we pack for vacation video. Remember we did that? It was probably a year. Oh, now I got to think it's probably been 2 years now that we did. It's on YouTube. I'll link to it in the show notes if people want to see it. It's kind of funny.
Dear.
It's a fun one, but we did. Yes,
and we did a video about what we bring into the parks too. Didn't we do that?
I think so.
Yeah, talking about kind of the same stuff as
a little bit of what we talked about today.
I'm trying to think of the must-haves, I think, like, as we talked about the water bottles and the umbrellas and all that stuff.
It's pretty, so that was a comprehensive one. I'll make sure to link to that in the show notes so that people can see that, one of our earlier YouTube videos.
Oh, dear.
I know.
Oh, dear.
We'll get back to doing those when we can actually see each other in person again.
Yeah, we will. But yeah, I think, I don't know, when we get to travel again, I'm sure our fanny packs, our bags will look exactly like they're tried, tested, and true. You'll have your stuff, I'll have my stuff, and if we're traveling together, we'll be able to help each other out. I find, like, I think for me, maybe the reason why I travel that way and have less in my park bag is because I often traveled in the beginning with my aunt and with my mom. And they're both very, like, think of everything and do, like, you know, the stuff that you bring on your trip is the stuff that my mom or my aunt would bring on our trip. So, like, you know, and then with you, I know that if I need something, it's most likely in your Haunted Mansion makeup bag. And that was, like, with my aunt, like, and my mom, and, like, all that little stuff they had. Like, and I used to do that in the beginning, pack all that stuff. I'd pack all of, like, the pills and the this and the that, whatever you could possibly need. And then I would never, ever use it. Like, I would bring it on every single trip, and I would never use it. Like, I might need a Band-Aid, I might need an Advil, but I don't need, like... I can't even think of, like, all of the other ailment things that you bring. Like, I don't ever use them. So, but I thought I had to bring them because I thought, well, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have a pill for everything. You're supposed to have, you know, a patch to help and fix everything. And I never did. Now I tell you, my mom would pack, like, little, like, you know, scissors or
yes. You can't bring those in the park anymore.
Right.
But yes, but when you could, I would.
Or she would have, like, moleskin. Like, that's the
yeah.
Like, my mom would, like,
on a blister.
There had been times where I'm sure my mom saved the day with her little sewing kit, and she sewed something or whatever. I think one time she made my niece's new romper into not a romper or something.
Which is so hilarious because the parks all have, like, first aid stations too, where you could go and get all of this stuff if you needed to.
That's something that I was thinking about mentioning. I'm glad you brought that up because and even with that, I don't ever go into the first aid, but I had no idea that even existed. Like, so really, if I don't have any of my stuff and I'm like, oh, I have a really bad headache, I wonder if I can get an Advil, or I need a Band-Aid, or I need to wrap my foot or whatever. Like, you go into the first aid at the resorts or at the parks, and they have all that there for you. Mm-hmm. And when I was at Disneyland once, and my friend needed, I was getting ice packs. We went in there a few times, and while we're waiting, because they make you wait, you got to fill in the form, and they say, oh, sit for a while, blah, blah, blah. And, like, watching the people come in and out like crazy, I'm like, nobody packs Band-Aids or Advils or anything. Like, everyone's going in for all that stuff. And I was like, am I the only one that doesn't know this? And I'm thinking, does Franny know this? Because she packs a whole pharmacy in her knapsack.
Do, but I would never want to go in and fill out the forms, blah, blah, blah. Because they always want to make sure that if you had an injury, it's not as a result of Disney or whatever. So I feel better when I have my own stuff.
Yeah. We were in there. Yeah. If you got, and whatever you're feeling, you go in there and they'll be like, would you like some ointment? Would you like this? Would you like that? And I had no idea. But and then with California, I'm like, is it because there's lots of locals? Like, do they just know that? Like, don't need to pack any of that stuff. Disney's got your back.
Maybe.
Or does that? I don't know that I've been into the first aid at Walt Disney World before.
I have. I've been in the one at Walt Disney World, and I think if I remember correctly, it was a friend of mine who ended up, she had blisters. Why she wore new shoes to the park, I don't know. But she had blisters, and we had to go in and get, like, moleskin and Band-Aids for her feet. And it was great. They were really helpful. But, yes, I prefer to carry my own, the stuff that I know works for me. And I use my little Haunted Mansion one because it's also see-through. So it makes it much easier for park security that they can just see through the bag, and I don't have to open it up and go through everything or whatever.
See, I have one of those too, but it's like, I have a part in my closet where I have all my travel stuff, and I swear I have like 100 things like that, and I almost never, ever, ever use them. And I try, and I think, well, what can I put in this? So whenever I go on a trip,
why do you buy them?
because they're cool. Like the Haunted Mansion one with the Madame Leota on it, the one that you have is awesome. So how could you not want it? But then I look at it and I'm like, what could I put in that when I go on a trip? Like a cord or something?
Like you could
in there. You could put some baby socks in there. I don't know.
No, put all your electronic stuff in it. Like if your cords for your phone charger, your camera charger, your watch charger, all of your charging stuff, all your charging cables could go in there.
I guess I'll do that next time. I've got so many of them that I
should take a look in your closet, because honest to goodness, all of my charging cables and stuff, my charger for my laptop, all that, all go in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time too. I have a Ziploc bag with all of my, when you had a real camera, the batteries, the chargers, everything. And my Ziploc bag would go in my luggage and then it would come back. So it just went into the Ziploc bag and throw it in the closet. I think I like the Ziploc bag because then when you're storing it here, you can see what it is. Whereas, if I had it in my closet in one of those fancier bags that wasn't see-through, I'd be like, where the heck is whatever? And I would never know where the heck it is. I would be like, I'd be searching through because I've got 18 bags like that in my closet. And I'd be like, which one is my whatever in? So I would keep it always at home back in a big Ziploc bag.
And I think that's part of the thing too, because we go to the park so often, we just have that routine. We know what kind of bag we're taking. We have the same stuff in our bag all the time. It really is kind of a staple of our travel. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you just know what you like to do, and you know what you need. Do it.
Which is
what works for you.
It does.
But you also get you also stress out before the trip when you if you're packing at the last minute or you're throwing everything in or whatever.
Packing at the
last minute. Which is kind of opposite of we go there all the time.
I know. No, because you know what? It's funny. I never think my park bag and my drawstring bag are always in my carry-on. They just live there for when I'm at home. So I don't worry about that. I always stress about the clothes, because chances are if we're going on Saturday morning, on Friday night, I'm unpacking whatever clothes I had from my last trip, throwing them all in the laundry bin, and then trying to throw clothes back in. And then I'm never sure, did I put enough shirts in? Which is crazy because I usually have 15 shirts for 7 days. And then I buy, I'm not a good packer, which is why I have a big suitcase.
But all your regular stuff, you just insert it again. So the stress that
it's usually just in my suitcase. I never take it out.
So it's just the clothes.
Yeah. It's usually just the clothes and the shoes. And did I remember to throw this in or that in?
And then I am totally the opposite. So what I'll do is a couple weeks in advance, I'll have it all sketched out. You have it all
planned out. What outfits you're wearing,
and which shirts go with which, and I have a plan. So I just because really, then that's how you travel with little, because you've got a plan.
I don't like to plan that because what if I wake up on Wednesday morning and I don't feel like wearing my shirts are a reflection of how I feel. And if I don't feel that way on the Wednesday morning... So
you feel like Jiminy Cricket, or you feel like Tinkerbell, or you feel like...
Exactly.
Like a hitchhiking ghost.
Some days I feel like Star Wars. Some days I feel like something funny. Some days I feel like, I need something different.
Mine is making sure that I haven't messed up what outfit matches. I got to make sure that if I'm going to wear this shirt, has to go with the blue jeans or the black whatever, because it's not going to go with my red capri pants. So I just have to make sure.
We should do a whole episode on packing. A whole episode on packing.
Or that's just our YouTube
we may have
video.
to check. Oy. Okay, Carrie, anyways, that was good. I think we covered our park bags.
Yeah,
I think we've got some good advice for everyone.
Cut some of that extra stuff out.
We might have to. I think we've got some good stuff in there. Carrie, what brought you some pixie dust this week? What made you happy, joyful? What was your pixie dust?
Can my pixie dust be the comment on the Pixie Dust fan page?
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I figured that's exactly. I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be Carrie's pixie dust this week.
So we on the Pixie Dust fans group page, someone put a post up, and can I say her name or just her first name?
You could say her first name.
Elizabeth and Pixie Dust fans posted and said that. Her and her daughter had been listening to the podcast all day long, and they were at the point in one of the episodes where I talked about how I hope the younger generation develops a love for the Muppets. And then I'll read what she had said. So she said, my youngest looked at me with utter shock and disbelief and said, is she talking about my generation? Because what kid from my generation doesn't know or love the Muppets? The Muppet Show is the best. If a kid my age doesn't know the Muppets, who the Muppets are, clearly their parents aren't raising them right. And I thought, this 10-year-old, I believe she is,
she's 10,
has got it straight. And that just made my day, because that's exactly why I talk about the Muppets to anybody that'll listen, because I want to make sure that the 10-year-olds love it, and then they tell their children about how awesome the Muppets are, and it lives forever. So
as soon as I saw that comment, I thought, oh my gosh,
that's the best.
Carrie's going to be over the moon that she not only knows the Muppets, but she loves them. And believes that if their parents are not, if they don't love them, their parents aren't raising them right.
They failed at parenting. Yeah.
It's like parenting 101.
Yeah, nothing brings me more joy when I hear of a friend that their children love Muppets, and I'm like, that's the best. And then there's some people at work because I have Kermits all over my office, and they'll be like, that one's Kermit, right? Or they'll say to me, Kermit, that's the frog? And I'll be like, oh my goodness. Like anybody that's like in the 20 to 30 age, like they sometimes don't know, the bear.
The bear, which one's that?
Isn't there a bear?
Yes.
The pig.
We need to make sure that the Muppets are getting front and center, and everybody knows who they are, and it's really refreshing.
Gal's championing the way to the future, so that's awesome.
So thank you, Elizabeth and her daughter, for listening.
Yes, and for sharing that. So cool.
It's Carrie's pixie dust this week.
It is my pixie dust. I love it.
As soon as I saw it, I knew.
So what's your pixie dust?
My pixie dust is that we got to go to the Disney store this week. Yay! So we
in the nick of time.
Just in the nick of time, right before our stay-at-home order came down. There was, I guess it was last month, they had a promo where if you spent a certain amount, you got this $25 coupon that you could use at a later time on any purchase over $50. So lo and behold, I had 3 of them. So meaning I had to spend $150, but then I could get $75 off. So who wouldn't? Like it was almost like a mission. So we went in the store. We ran into a friend from the Disney, like at the Disney store that we knew from online, and so that was kind of fun. And then, I spent the $150. Like it was like a blink of an eye. Boom, done. You were quite the enabler, Carrie. Which was good.
I didn't realize that you could stack them. So it was like Kohl's coupons. Like I think they have those at Kohl's in the U.S., like the Kohl's Cash. It was, I think, similar to that. So when I found out that, I thought that maybe you would just use one of them because, sometimes they say no more than one coupon, whatever. And when the cast member said that you could stack them and you could, as long as you spend $50, you can apply another one, I was like, start the car. And then then at that point, once I realized that, I was following you around. I'm like, you're going to spend all that. You're going to spend $150, right?
It, right?
It's $75.
Like, I did.
When do you get to save that much money at the Disney store? Usually,
never. So I managed to get 2 Nuimos, like 2 new ones. So I got a Winnie the Pooh and a Piglet. I got a new coaster set. I got the purse that I've been eyeing. Remember, we saw that purse, and it was like a crossbody, and you decorate it with pins, trading pins. But it was like, I think it was like $45 or something. And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to, maybe I'll wait till it goes on sale. But boom, I had a $25 card. So I was using that. So I got that. I got some ink and paint plates that I actually have decided now I'm going to hang in my kitchen as decorative plates instead of using them. So I'm very excited. It was a very good shopping haul. For me, so I was very
I bought
excited.
a Nuimo too, but I was waiting for that date because I wanted to wait to use my coupon.
Exactly. And then now we've got Nuimos that are dressed. You got a little outfit for yours.
Yep.
You got Tigger. Yep. So it was very good. It was a very good shopping trip. So that was my,
and it was good, so good that we did that. Like we weren't sure to go back. We were determined to use those dang coupons.
Yes.
And I'm so glad we went that night, because by the next night we're pretty much, we can't go. It might not even be open, because it's probably, I don't know that the Disney store did curbside pickup.
I don't think so. Yeah, it didn't fall under the what's it called, essential services.
No. So it was awesome. Perfect timing.
Perfect. So all things happen for a good reason. So that was great. So it was a great week. It really was. Well, this was fun, Carrie, as always. We had some good fun. And for everyone listening, please, please, please head over to Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and a review. We love reading them, and it really helps Apple and others decide whether or not they want to give us a shot and listen to us. And you can share us with anybody that you think might enjoy it. You know, help us get the word out. Tell people about the podcast if you enjoy it. We would love to hear from you. So send us emails, reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, whichever way, and let us know what you want to hear.
Yeah, some topics.
Because we always think these things are interesting for us, and honestly, we could talk about whatever. We could talk about the weather for 6 hours if you haven't noticed. Carrie and I can talk about anything.
We could be still talking about Club Cool.
We could. So it would be helpful if people, you know, we always think it's interesting, but I really think it would be great if people could let us know what they find interesting as well. So find us on all the social platforms. And, if anybody is actually on the new app called Clubhouse, I don't know how it works. I got an invitation, so I'm on it now, and I don't know what to do with it. So if you're there, reach out to me, and let's connect on Clubhouse. And yeah, so that's it. So Carrie, always a pleasure.
Yipper.
We'll be back next week with more fun. And until next time, remember, you are never too old to be young. Chase your dreams and design your own happily ever after.